We say what they can't radio.
Welcome to Groucho and the Gentleman Podcast. We getting it in. Enjoy.
Thought you was gonna play a song.
Oh, I thought you could do the intro first.
Now, who is this artist?
Now, according to this.
Don't stand.
Well, French Montana. I mean, come on. I know this artist.
That's dope that you brought up French Montana because he was actually the first person I ever interviewed.
Really?
Yeah.
How?
And
Where?
so I guess we're gonna start off with my intro. We're supposed to start off with your intro, but ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a Groucho and a Gentleman podcast. I'm JP Groucho, which obviously is the Groucho part, and this is
Kendrick the Gentleman.
and welcome to our podcast. So going back to your question,
Yes.
my story, real short, because we were supposed to start off with his story.
We flipped it. It's all good. It's all good.
It's all good.
That's what media is all about, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So I started off wanting to be a rapper.
What?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So I ended up having a record label with this dude that did beats for Dipset, and then from him doing beats for Dipset, I feigned off of being a rapper and was doing TV because that's what I went to school for and everything.
Well, first of all, I didn't know you tried rapping.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
that's,
I don't really know. I don't even really know this guy. That's the purpose of this podcast. Our friend / manager, shout out to her. I don't know if she wants her name revealed yet. she might not want to be attached to. She might not want to be attached to this program yet. So shout out to her. Me and this guy, we've known each other for what?
I don't know. I would say probably about at least 7 years, maybe. Yeah.
7 years, and I consider him a friend of mine for real. And what I like about him is that he's an authentically himself, and it's so different than other black men, especially that I know. So our friend, always see us going back and forth in our conversation, and she was like, "Yo, y'all should do a podcast," and we was like, "Yeah, we should."
Yeah.
And then, it took me a whole year to get him here, and now here we are.
It didn't take a whole year because I didn't want to do it. You know why it took a year? Because, COVID and stuff, that big old thing. It's just a little something. But before I go into my little thing here, I want to go back to the rapper situation because I didn't know you wanted to be. You're right.
Oh,
I didn't know you were in that world. I knew you were doing stuff in the entertainment world, but I didn't know you wanted to be a rapper.
Yeah, that's what started me in
media.
Well, it didn't start me in media. I always wanted to be an actor. So,
Oh, I learned a lot today.
So I went to Edward R. Murrow for that's a school for TV. I don't even know if it should be. It's still around.
Yeah.
And from there is where I learned my TV skills.
Okay.
So that's how I learned to do camera work and editing and stuff. So that played a role when my partner at the time, he got his label, and I was like, all right, I could do the TV part of this.
All right. Well, I mean,
so that's where I transitioned from that. From there is when Gintv and all that stuff.
All right. And of course, we can talk about Gintv a little bit later on. But I've seen a few clips from Gintv. Very impressed. Very impressed.
See, that's what I'm saying. This guy doesn't know nothing about hip hop or.
Hey, I know a little bit of something. I may not be, in the world like you, knowing all that
quote,
stuff.
Unquote, street life or
Street life. What is street life, JP Groucho? What is street life?
We'll get into that.
All right. Well,
Tell us about yourself.
All right. Well, everybody.
Well, he's not from New York. You're not from New York.
I'm not from New York. I'm originally Jamaica to Jersey.
I don't believe that part.
To Brooklyn. See, got jokes.
He's
He's a hater. But
I'm a Groucho now.
Oh, he's a Groucho. I'm the gentleman from Jamaica to New Jersey to Brooklyn. But.
Even that but. What is that?
Anyway, so obviously I'm the gentleman in this whole situation, right? Of course, this guy here has a lot more background than me in media. Does it for a living. Been doing it before that. Didn't know he wanted to be a rapper. and an actor. That's interesting. But we do our paths. Do have some similarities. I studied journalism, so I wanted to be in media. I wanted to be an anchor, actually.
I can see you being an
So
anchor. You had that anchor voice.
I got that anchor voice, the anchor look. I mean, all the good stuff.
The look.
So I mean,
The
I'm ready for
voice.
it. They say some people have voice for radio and
So
a
that's what you
face
went-
for radio. Is that what they say?
You went to school for
I did.
journalism?
I did. I
What, high
did
school or
broadcast. College.
What
So
college you went to?
Rutgers
Okay.
University. Yep. So studied broadcast journalism. Did some editing. Did a lot of editing actually.
Mhm.
Um,
What kind? Paper or video?
paper. Oh.
Hey, you old, so I don't know if you're using the typewriter.
Well, actually, that's a good question because basically, when you're going through that program, you can choose which way you're going. If you're going to do broadcast or you're going to do print.
Right.
So I kind of did a little bit of both
Mhm.
in the beginning. So, and then I decided, television's more my to my liking. So then I started focusing on that. And that was a lot of fun. I was able to, I had a crew I was able to go around and do interviews with, but I also did print for the university. So I wrote for the school newspaper.
You look like Clark Kent before he turns into Superman right now.
Well, I mean,
I didn't say you were Superman. You just look like the Clark Kent part.
I know this is going somewhere because this is how it begins, right? This is how he
No, because I could see you like with the trench coat and with the hat running, trying to get the story from people.
Well, I did run. I mean, I did do track and field.
Word? You
Yeah,
can
I'm Jamaican. I mean, come on now.
So you say
Yeah.
you Hussein Bolt?
What?
That was
No,
what you
no,
did, right?
no, Hussein. But I did track and field.
That was a dude from Jamaica, right?
Yeah. Oh, he's a hero there, legend. So I did track and field from middle school through high school, and some tennis. Goes with my gentlemanness.
Is middle school a West Indian term?
Well, what do you call it here?
Junior high school.
Same thing.
I know.
Well,
the
actually,
people that
in the Caribbean, you call it somebody. You got primary school, secondary school,
Oh, right,
all that sort of thing, right? I mean, you're partly Caribbean. You should know this.
yeah, my
right?
parents from the West Indies.
All
St.
right.
Vincent. So
Right. So you see, we do got some things in common, but he's right though, right? There's some things, as he calls it. Maybe I'm not street,
well, you said you came up more like a tree hugger. You said
What?
this is what you called it.
All right. Well, let me explain what the tree hugger
Yes,
situation
please.
is. All right. So, I'm a very free loving, earthy person, I guess you would call it, right? So, I would just, hair was outgrown,
You
big
didn't
old
use
afro.
deodorant?
Huh?
You didn't use deodorant.
No, I used deodorant. I wasn't that bad. Uh, but I mean, I was much more simple. I had like that neo soul era. I was a big part of that whole thing there. So I was a tree hugger in that sense. I wasn't literally hugging trees or
You
running
showed me that
around.
picture with you hugging that tree.
I wasn't hugging that tree. I was not hugging that tree. I wasn't hugging the tree. May have been smoking some trees, but I wasn't hugging the tree. But yeah, I mean, look, my background is varied. Like I said, Jamaica to New Jersey, which is very different than
How old
Jamaica.
were you when you
So I was 7. Well,
So you
no,
were
no,
born
no.
in Jamaica.
I was born in Jamaica. So my mom left Jamaica when I
So
was
you're
7.
an immigrant.
I'm an immigrant.
Can
Yes.
I get money if I called in?
Calling money for what?
Like if I reported you? Can I?
Oh no, I'm legal. Thank you very much.
I'm about to say
Yeah.
we're gonna get some money off of this
No,
podcast.
no.
One way or another.
I actually took a flight here. I didn't cross any legal borders. But and please don't take that the wrong way. But definitely different from Jersey, Jamaica. So when I came here in the winter. I was turning 11. So I was 7 when my mom left. Turning 11 when I came here. And I do remember vividly. I came in around my birthday, so it was freezing and it was snowing. Wearing shorts.
You was wearing shorts.
So, so the lifestyle is totally different.
Did you at least have a coat, a big coat? Or?
I don't recall if I was wearing any coat. Like, I really don't think I was actually. But I just remember it being very cold. So then come from Jamaica, where it's carefree and the weather is nice. You run around and do all kinds of crazy stuff, tree huggerish things. and then come to Jersey, very suburbia and very where I grew up was
There's lots of trees in Jersey though. Still.
lots of trees. It's known as the Garden State, right?
Oh,
So
that's true.
so it makes sense. But yeah, so I grew up in quite the opposite of Jamaica. It was very polished, sort of area. Very lots of lawn, lots of house, and all that stuff. Um, and very very not Jamaica. And then
So when he was growing up in Jersey, so this is why I say quote unquote street life because I grew up in Brooklyn.
yeah,
Born and raised.
yeah.
But I'm not. When we was growing up, it's like it was just natural to go outside and play. But when we went outside to play, a lot of dudes was doing like would be considered street things. But we was just growing up to me. But what went along with Brooklyn was like occasionally robbing somebody. Or just,
Occasionally robbing somebody. I didn't know that was an occasional thing.
right. So that's why I'm trying to get in Jersey. Did you go outside? Or
Yeah. So that's what Jersey was definitely not Brooklyn. And it was kind of like in the sense similar to Jamaica in the sense where just kind of roam free because it was suburbia, so I was able to ride my bike towns and towns over the whole day. And I didn't see any.
I always wanted to ride a bike like that.
Yeah, I mean, I did that.
Like
It was
the
like,
Wonder Years, like you remember that show?
oh yeah,
Yeah,
I do.
That was one of my favorite things. Like, oh look at that's cool. It looks
I
like
did that. I did that, and it was so I had a great life in Jersey, but it was definitely not Brooklyn. But I used to visit Brooklyn here and there. It was very fun. I've had family here for a while, and I've always wanted to move here. But of course, the years went on and on and on. I went to school and so on, and then eventually moved here.
You said you went to Canada at some point. Right?
No, I didn't live in Canada. I used to spend my summer months in Canada.
Oh, okay.
So my dad, in case you guys are wondering why Canada, my dad lives in Canada, and have step siblings and half sister and all that stuff there. So it's like a whole nother family over there. But so that's where Canada comes from. But I never lived there.
Oh, okay.
So but yeah, so that's the gentleman side of.
So growing up, you never thought about like being, like when I was growing up, I never thought I would see 25. And I thought that like I had to go to jail at some point.
You had to go to jail.
Yeah, I thought that was like a rite of like passage, I guess, in becoming a man.
And now, are you saying that because of the lifestyle in Brooklyn, or is
the
it
older people, the people that were older than me that I looked up to at the time? You know,
Yeah.
that's what they were all going to jail, or they were all, unfortunately passing away. Like I knew when I was I was like 16, 15 when my friend he got killed and he was like 12.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. 12.
Yeah.
And
He was selling drugs in VA and
Oh,
they
man.
shot him in his face.
At 12 years old?
Mhm.
Man. Yeah, see, that's where Jersey's kind of different, right? Well, or very different actually, because like I have to say, I guess you would call it a sheltered lifestyle, right? Because none of that where I grew up was.
See, I never thought black people could live like that, like sheltered. Like
Well,
I thought we were all going through the same.
See, for me, it was the opposite. It was really interesting to hear that because you're not the only one I've heard that from, right? So that to me was normal, whereas what you're saying here is pretty normal as well here. So both lifestyles are pretty normal, just in different environments, right? So when I heard that, I'm like, well, I didn't understand what that means. It's kind of like when I moved from Jamaica, right? And you find out people don't like people because of skin of their, the color of their skin or, that sort of thing. That was also a little confusing for me. Because everybody in my country looked like me, right?
Right.
Doctors, lawyers,
Right.
president, prime minister, whatever.
Right.
So, so same thing when, I hear folks talk about that. So I'm like, that's interesting. Because
So obviously in Jamaica, there weren't hardly any white people.
I mean, I wouldn't say there were hardly any white people, but the majority of population is definitely black. So, but there are white people, but they're very, very Jamaican.
Okay.
We have whites, we have Chinese, a huge population. But for the most part, most of the people, if the majority, look like me.
Right.
So I never knew anything about people not liking me because of the color of my skin or afraid of me or any of that sort of thing. Because
So was Jamaica as violent as, well, I don't know how violent it is now, but they say it's very it's more violent.
You know,
Was it
look,
violent at all growing up? Like
you know,
the poor neighborhoods were.
yeah, like any country, any neighborhood, any city, any state, you're gonna have bad parts, right? Jamaica is the same way. You know, I gotta say again, I was fortunate enough to grow up in an area where you know I lived a fairly you know carefree existence, right? And that kind of continued into Jersey. So, but yeah, there were definitely dangerous parts. I'm sure if I probably went one parish over, it was probably crazy. You know, it's probably like you know from here going to I don't know. Well, I don't want to say anything to insult anybody, but you know, but yeah, I mean, it's there were definitely bad parts, and but that's anywhere.
Right,
So
right.
yeah,
Yeah, that I think that's what kind of saved me too. Is when my grandmother used to take me to St. Vincent,
yeah,
and I could see the different types of
yeah,
living. So I always knew in the back of my head, like, okay, not you know, there's beaches and there's
yeah,
you
yeah,
know, there's a lot of people from Brooklyn that never seen Manhattan.
yeah. Right, right.
Never,
No, yeah,
nevertheless a beach. So
yeah,
when I was coming to school and told them, they'd be like, what? Whatever
yeah.
you coconut. That's what they were, that's what they were called.
Coconut. What does that mean? What's coconut?
I don't know. I love coconut. So I didn't see it was as an insult, but I think that's what a lot of American
Yeah,
dudes would say as an insult.
as an insult. Yeah,
But I was
yeah.
like, oh, I don't know.
Like I like coconut. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, I was like, whatever.
You know, coconut is good though. It hurts my stomach, but it's good. It's good.
What actual coconut juice or
The coconut juice or coconut water, you call it,
look
or
at them trying to be extra Jamaican.
coconut water. And you know, of course, you eat the jelly out.
Yeah, that's the jelly was.
Yeah,
I love the jelly.
you know that was really good, but that also hurt your stomach too, though. But
Nah, it doesn't see. That's why you're not a real West Indian, because you know you're
yeah, here
supposed
he
to.
goes again.
You're supposed to
Here
be
he
able
goes
to eat that
again.
with.
Here he goes again, hater. But you
No,
know,
this is just
it's
fact.
all
This is-
good. It's all good. You know why? Because you know we're still friends, and I think that's what makes us friends because you know because of those differences.
Right.
But at the same time, as much as we have all those differences, is a lot that's familiar,
Right.
right, and similar. So you know, I think that's what you know kind of you know made us stay friends, you know, for so long. When I first met this man, by the way,
Let me hear your recollection of how we. First.
yeah, yeah, because he has a different you know take on it. So I think it was at a local bar around here,
That's definitely.
and he was with his girlfriend at the time. I
I
won't mention
don't
her
know.
name.
She was my girlfriend.
She was something to you. So, you know, I think we're just random. We were at the bar and we just started talking, or his girlfriend started talking to me. I think he was a little jealous. You know, she's very friendly. So, so this gentleman here, you know, he was nice about it, and so since she was friendly, he was friendly. But I could tell, you know, at first he was a little bit, hey, you trying to steal my girl?
You can't steal my girl.
yeah.
First of all,
But
there's
anyway-
there's no way
Anyway,
anybody, but especially you.
right,
Trying to steal
here we
my
go.
girl.
Here we go. So, you know, and I'm going to put this out there. So, you know, he didn't think I was into women, by the way, just FYI. So,
All right. We're getting closer to my version. All right.
all right. So, first of all, I wasn't even trying to do anything with it. I was just being a normal person and friendly that I am. So anyway, we all just started getting, you know, used to each other. And then the night went on. Then we went to Lunatico.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bar not far from the other spot that we went to.
Why don't you want to say the spot?
Oh, Besso. I wanted free advertising.
But you gave me not to call free.
Well, I like them. So, but
Oh.
did I say that? Nana, you don't hear this. No, I love it there. I love it there. It's wonderful. So yeah, so we, so then yeah, you know that's how we met, and we went to Lunatico. You know, I don't know if we went anywhere else after that, but
Nah,
and then we just started kind of I don't know running into each other, I guess at Besso
Yeah.
because that was the
because
spot.
we're both. The number one thing we have in common is we're alcoholics.
No, I'm not an alcoholic. I am not
He's
an alcoholic.
in denial.
I enjoy a good beverage
All right,
every
all
now
right,
and
all right,
then.
yes,
Um,
we enjoy good beverages and good spots too.
And nice spots. Yes, yes.
You know,
So, but you know, and speaking of nice spots, you know, look, we you know, myself and some others have helped JP, you know, expand his
So he did. You met me in a nice spot. I've been doing it.
You know, but there's certain spots that we go to now that I don't know if you go to. You know, if you would probably frequent these days. Would you?
Like where?
I don't know. Would you go to a Lunatica?
No, because it's a little,
You say yeah,
it's a
right?
little, it's a little too.
Yeah. What? Gentleman?
All right, we gonna use that word.
I know where he's going with this. I'm trying to get it out of him.
No. Thank goodness we have our PR/manager in the back.
You know, eventually I'm going to get him to be Groucho. So you just wait. You just wait. But yeah, that's how we met. It's just kind
No,
of.
but I love Lunatica because the music, they play.
Yeah, but did you go there before though?
No, he was definitely my first time going.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even know. But I was a regular at Bezos. I was a regular at Peaches. I'm a regular from.
Well, I mean, this is your neighborhood,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I mean, I'm a transplant here, so
What does transplant mean for people that don't know?
Well, what do you mean people that don't know? People don't know what transplant is?
Yes, there's a lot of people that don't know.
A transplant would be like somebody that moves to into a new place or area or neighborhood. Isn't from here originally, right?
Okay.
Yes. So I am a transplant from Jersey. Not trying to pretend that I'm a Brooklynite right away, but I mean now I am. I think though I've been here for
How do people from Brooklyn not from Brooklyn do that? Like, oh, I've been here for 10 years now.
Look, you're
You're from where you grew up at. To me, that's where you're from.
Well, I didn't say I'm from Brooklyn. I said I'm a Brooklynite now. I didn't say I'm from Brooklyn.
I don't know
So,
what Brooklynite is.
huh?
I don't know what that means. A Brooklyn.
Here you go.
No, but I really don't. That's why you're my friend, because you put me onto the other side of being.
Well, let me think about it. It's first of all, it's a slang term, right? For the most part, I don't know if that's slang, but I don't know the proper word to use. But it's just calling somebody, somebody that's from, I don't know, where you Brownsville? Is that right?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't call you a Brownsvilleite. Browns.
They call us Brownsvillians when I was a kid. But
Well, same thing. So
But,
Brownsvillian, but this is all in Brooklyn, right? So I don't know. Like if somebody would call me a Jerseyan or something. I don't know, or a Jerseyite. Or
that's what I'm saying.
shit.
No other place. Only Brooklyn people be like, "Oh, I'm a Brooklynite." I never heard no other term for people that just live in the area. Like,
Yeah, well, I mean, look, each area has their own lingo, right? So in Brooklyn, we got Brooklynites. So
he's a Brooklynite. I'm just from.
I'm a Brooklynite. He's a born and bred. What would you call
Brooklyn.
it? From Brooklyn.
I'm from Brooklyn.
Yeah, Brooklyn boy. But yeah, so that would just add another piece to how we met.
Oh yeah, so my version.
Yeah, his version
of how we met.
The lies.
It was a dark and stormy night.
All right.
Nah, it really was raining that night, and I think either the kitchen had closed. We were conversating. Yes, I thought you was
conversating. He said, by the way, it's supposed to be conversing. Just FYI.
Oh, what? See, this is what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I mean out there. We was conversating, and then see how he be judging.
Not judging at all. I'm just saying there's no word conversating, but whatever.
Y'all know what I mean. Put it in the comments if you know what I mean. So we were conversating. Me and my friend was there, and we was all talking about. I didn't think he was trying to pick her up because I thought that he was homosexual or gay. Right?
See, I knew it was coming out eventually. I knew it was coming.
So I didn't think he was picking her up. So I remember she had went to the bathroom or something, and then he was like, "Oh, you want some pizza?" So I was like, "What? You trying to come on to me? Like, like what are you talking
Some
about?"
pizza.
But I think the kitchen had closed, and we was all saying we was hungry or something like that. So, but I thought it was cool that you ordered from
Saragina.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know why the Bezos didn't have any food at the moment, but
it was probably late.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
late.
it's probably late.
So and I was just it was a cool vibe, and I like the fact that you was just being yourself, and I hate when people come across a certain way, like, and it just.
Well, I think that's one reason why we get along so well, right? Because and I think that's why I think I get along with most people too, is because I never and I don't think you do that or any of my friends do that. You don't try to change who you are to fit in, right? So it's either accept me for the gentleman, and or I accept you for the Groucho you are, or it doesn't work.
Right.
So so I think those things are really important. When it comes to forming lasting friendships and so on. So and for me, I just think it's better and it's less stress to be yourself consistently than trying to consistently try to be somebody else.
Right.
So and you accepted me for it, and most people I think accept people for.
Yeah, but when you get
yeah.
that, I accept you. It doesn't matter.
I know he's going with this again.
That's what I keep trying. That's what I'm gonna get out of you. You trying to get that out of the real. I'm trying to get the real gentleman. That is our goals in this podcast.
Our goal is to
get our real selves out.
We'll do it. We'll do it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
No, but definitely, like your vibe was cool and he was cool, and I was like, you had genuine conversation, and you never. Every time I met you after that, you was always having fun. We was always chilling.
Yeah, it was always a good time, and then we, as we went along throughout the year, just kind of added, more people.
Right.
So the group gets bigger and bigger and cooler, and so yeah, and this is where it's at now, right?
Love me or leave me alone. That's a Brand Nubian quote. You know who Brand Nubian is?
I do know the name. Yes.
He has no idea. He has no idea who Brand is.
I do. I mean, I know the name. You want to look it up?
That's why you got close. That's why you got close to.
Hold on. Hey Siri, show me a picture.
Yeah, but that's a Brand. What do you listen to? What kind of music?
That's one of the things that this is what makes me a gentleman. I don't have any one particular genre of music that I listen to. I mean, do I have
what's your favorite?
Favorite?
Yeah.
I would say that I like reggae, and it's not because I'm Jamaican, but probably maybe I'm a little biased to it because I grew up with it. Right?
Who's your favorite reggae artist? Don't say Bob Marley.
It's gonna. Well, he is one of them, but I do like Barris Hammond.
Okay.
And the Mighty Sparrow, old. I don't even know about the Mighty Sparrow.
I thought he was more soca.
Well, he is kind of, but he's. I grew up with that. My aunts. One of my aunts.
I think he's related to my family. I think
the Mighty Sparrow. I think is he dead now? Or is he still alive?
He's dead.
Yeah, he was. I think he died probably about 10 years ago, maybe. So that genre is really more, but I like a little bit of everything. I don't particularly care for heavy metal music, or
I thought that's part of the tree hugging experience. Like
heavy metal music. How is that tree hugging?
I
think I need to redefine the term tree hugger for you again. But no. I mean, look, whatever music, I'm my brain's in the mood for that day. I don't particularly care for country music too much either. But interestingly enough, a lot of Caribbeans love country music. That's true. Which is really interesting to me.
I think that they get that from the TV back then, because that was all that was really on TV. Was
I can see that.
Kung fu or country.
Or country. That makes sense. That makes sense.
That's why our parents love kung fu movies.
Oh my god. I mean, I do too. But
I never really got into kung fu.
Well, I mean, it was just I'm a kid, and we just like violence as a kid. So boys
goes back to what I was saying about my upbringing,
Well, I mean, different kind.
I wasn't a violent kid, but that was just what I was used to,
Yeah.
I still was aware, of getting in trouble. I never wanted to get in trouble and make my mom's,
Well, I was afraid of my mom. My mom was I was afraid of her. And not in the way she was going to kill me or anything like that, but Caribbean moms, and I think just moms in general, but there's a certain certain look, and just certain things you're just not going to get away with, right? And I feel like in the Caribbean household even more so, that. So I think I didn't get in trouble because of that fear. So
I had the same fear of my mom. I didn't want to really just disappoint her. The disappointment aspect was always key. But when I went outside, I was outside. So
yeah. Well, let me ask you a question too, though. Because we're talking about the lifestyle that we had. You growing up, in Brooklyn, me in Jersey, for the most part. So it was never not a goal. It was always the goal to school. So school was always the goal. got to finish school, got to be successful in school, then you got to go to college. There was no question on that. So that was always the goal.
Mhm.
So now, you were telling me here, part of here is more about trying to survive, I guess,
Mhm.
the streets. But you are part of a Caribbean household. So was that part of
Yeah, my mom worked for the Board of Education, so
oh,
she actually she was like she found all my schools. I didn't care about going to school.
yeah, yeah.
I'm actually one of my. I think I'm the only of my dudes from my block.
Mhm.
I think I'm the only one that went to college and graduated college.
And you think that's because your mom was
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
She filled out the application. She was like, you want to go away? I was like, I don't really care. She was like, well, you like TV and film and shit. So she went and found out like colleges that I went to St. John's.
Yeah, yeah.
Colleges
Yep.
that specialize in that.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to Hofstra.
Oh, so your mom really directed your
Yeah, definitely. If it wasn't for her, I would have.
and towards something you like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Because she
pretty
knew I
cool.
went to Murrow. That was for TV.
Yeah, yeah.
So she knew, okay, this is the trade.
Yeah.
She was like, all right, that rap stuff, that acting stuff, yeah, sure. She was
Yeah,
like,
my mom would have looked at you and like
she was like, but we're gonna back it up with something that you could, which
you could make a
I
living.
thank her for,
Yeah.
she's gone now, so RP mom, but she really
Yeah.
saved my life and directed my life because
That's amazing. Man.
I see a lot of my friends, their parents don't really direct them.
Yeah.
Not to knock their parents, I don't, but
No, of course not. But I mean that is a blessing to have a mom that or a parent that supports what you want to do, kind of sort of indirectly, because the rapping part, it's like you can make money off of that and make a living. But she saw the other thing that you liked, and she's like, okay, that could work.
And I can't even knock her for like the rapping part because back then like rappers was like kind of a new thing. So they were making the money that they make it now.
Right.
Like my son says he wants to be a YouTuber. I'm like,
well, I mean,
but I could see. I don't know if years from now.
Yeah.
They're already making money off of it now. Some of them. So
yeah.
it's like, okay, if you could direct your life into doing that, I'm gonna
Support.
See,
and look at that. You took that from your mom, right? It's supporting your kids' dreams and so on. As long as it's not anything that's causing them any harm or they can't make a living.
And that's what I was saying. Like growing up, I would see some parents encourage their kids to like be in the street. Like they'd be like, "Yo, what you doing? Like, you letting that person disrespect you or like move? Like it was crazy. It's kind of crazy when you look back at it. Like wow, like
I mean, but you survived. Thanks to Mama.
Still here.
You're still here. So one of the other things we want to talk about, guys, is on this show is we're gonna do some like topics,
right.
Current events, maybe kind of talk about some things that we find interesting and kind of see the differences in how we view the world, right? Because I'm sure maybe the things that I have an interest in is probably not something that you're probably thinking about, So those are some of the things that we're gonna want to kind of do as well, on the show.
Like the other day on the phone, we was talking about snitching.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, "What's snitching?" And I was like, "What do you mean? What's snitching?"
Well, I didn't hear you properly. Yeah.
What is there to hear? Snitching. Even when you growing up, like you get told like, snitches. What is it?
Snitches end up
get snitches.
with it. I don't know.
Snitches get snitches.
Snitches end up with stitches. That's it.
Like, I remember one time, I was by my grandmother and like one of my cousins did something, and I was like, "Oh, it was so and so," and then my mom got so mad. She was like, "Yo, don't you ever tell on those?" Like, "Yo, you was yelling at me, but I did it." I was like, so I told. So from there, but like so that conversation came up because Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Yeah, I actually know about Tekashi 6ix9ine. I was watching a documentary on him. See, I was watching a documentary. He probably knows about him because he was watching the videos.
I watched his career and still pay attention to it.
But I find that kid very interesting. See, I see the thing is, I do listen and have interest in some of the same things you do, but maybe just from a different angle.
I'm not a fan of his music, but his story.
Well, I don't think that's even music, honestly, but
yeah. So he would. So let me ask you. So if you was in a gang,
Yeah.
like a gang, so you had the gentleman boys
Yeah. The gentleman boys.
running around.
I wouldn't join that gang.
Whatever
Yeah. Yeah.
and somebody from that gang took your girlfriend
Mm-hmm.
and kidnapped you for money. Would you? And then you all were
Well,
going
kidnapped her for money?
No, kidnap you.
Me for money. Okay.
Because you
Okay.
you making the money that you
Okay.
make now.
All right. All right.
He gets a.
I do not. I do not.
So so you were making that money that you make. You were
Yeah.
making the money for the gang. You were the
Right.
main breadwinner for the gang. But
Right.
you tried to cut somebody out. You tried to cut me out of the gang. So I came and was like, listen, you ain't doing that. I kidnapped you and like, if you go get me some money, if you wanna,
Yeah.
if you wanna live. And then it came out later on down the line that you could tell on me to get out of going to jail and get out the game. Would you tell on me?
It really depends on the headspace I'm in at that time. You know, um, it depends. I don't know. It's not an easy question. People think it's an easy question, but it's not an easy question.
I respect that. See, that's a real answer. Like, it's like but I'm not in Takashi. I get the argument on both sides because
Yeah,
they say once you join a gang, you loyal.
yeah.
It don't matter what. But
Yeah.
if the gang is not loyal to me, then why should I be
So
loyal
yeah,
to
so
the
maybe
gang?
depending on that time, the gang wasn't. Maybe she
Right.
wasn't loyal to me or somebody was.
Right.
So then I'm like, I can take her.
Right.
Yeah, I don't care.
But so I always looked at the snitching thing like, if me and you do something together, and I get caught, then I'm not gonna tell.
Yeah, I mean, but I think
But-
everybody has a different perspective on that. But I mean, that was just my raw thing. But again, I actually find that kid interesting.
I was surprised because I thought, we're both civilians, but I thought you would definitely be like, yo, I'm snitching.
No, it really depends, man. It really does. It really depends on the scenario and the headspace. And to your point, it depends on the circumstances. What happened previously. Maybe my thought process will be different based on maybe you screwed me over, a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
So then I'm like, oh, fuck it.
Let me get this back.
Right. So so it all depends. But so but I like that though that we can talk about things like that. But it's also something that you would never thought that I would know, right? But I was like, yeah, I know that. But
you know it from a documentary, like that's
right, that's what I'm saying. So from a different perspective, but just because I don't maybe listen to the music or that particular music or at least that regularly, doesn't mean I don't know.
Right, what's happening?
But that's what I like though. So you kind of learned something different from me about the perspective of that person, and I learned it from a different perspective, from you. So I like that. I like that with everybody.
Right.
Like, that's why I like talking to different people because you may have may do the exact same things, but in different spaces or different worlds, right? And so you get those different perspectives, and I find that very fascinating. Yeah.
Yeah. What else you find fascinating? You was telling me something about France and.
Oh yeah, well I'm a journalism major, right? So I wanted to be on TV, but so I love the news, so I'm always listening to the news. I listen to it all day, and so I was talking to to Groucho here the other day about maybe one of the topics that we can throw in there every now and then is world events or politics and things like that. So I was just talking about the recent election in France.
And I didn't even know France had an election. But
Yeah. So they just reelected their current president, which hasn't happened in a very, very long time. Like, so typically France, you have one term, you're out. They usually don't reelect.
I didn't know.
And it's not a thing where they do
Is it
that.
every 4 years like here? Or?
I think it's every 4 or 5 years. I can't remember, but it's not that you can't run again. It's just that typically most of them are one
They
term.
had enough of you.
Yeah. Or they kick him out somehow. So, but he won again, and this guy is very young, by the way. He's 40. I think he's 44. So he's a young man. And it's actually really good that he won because
What's his name?
Macron.
Macron.
Is his last name. What's his Macron's first name? I can't remember. Emmanuel Macron. Um, and then the woman that he ran against, Marie Le Pen. She's quite the opposite of him. She was like anti-Muslim, anti-EU, anti-everything. So it would have been a really interesting. Like everybody breathed a sigh of relief when he won, and he won by a pretty comfortable margin. I think it was like 58%.
Oh, okay.
Not bad. It's definitely lower than what he did the first round, but anyway. But those are some of my interests.
Nah, it's all good. I'm interested in see. This is what I'm saying. Don't think just because I look as good as I look that I'm not.
Oh, here we go.
I'm not interested. I'm not interested in these topics. Like, what do they call Republicans and Democrats out there? Like, is there a main two-party system? Like, there's
Yeah, I mean, for the most, well, so the interesting thing about Macron is that Macron, I can't pronounce his name properly, but he actually created his own party. So that's the fascinating thing about it. He created his own party 4 years ago or 5 years ago. So that's a really interesting thing. But I think, for the most part, it's like it's kind of like here, a two-party system for the most part, I think. But again, fascinating to me is that he just literally created that party because he didn't like what the other parties were, were
that's
doing.
dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
We need something like that here.
We have that here, but we just
We do.
well, you got the Tea Party, you got all these other,
The Tea Party was a spinoff of the Republic. They were still underneath that.
Well, look, you find people that.
Who was the leader of the Tea Party again? That green dude? What was his name?
Oh, I don't know. I know nothing about the Green Party. I just know that they're there. But it's kind of like one of those situations. But to have a party that you just create and all of a sudden they're running the country, it's not that easy.
Nah, definitely not.
So,
and especially being young too,
And being young, he's 44. He's a very, very young man. So, and he has a very old wife. I'd have nothing against old people, by the way.
He has an older wife. How old is she?
He's 44. I think she's like 60 something, or almost 70, if not 70 already. So
is she still holding it together?
No. You want to take a look at her? I'll show you a picture of her. She's old.
we might, send me the picture. I might insert it,
Yeah.
with the people.
Yeah, she's not cute. She was. I'm sure.
These are the words of the gentleman. Groucho does not,
When she was younger, yes, maybe yes.
There's younger pictures. She was a model or something.
I wouldn't call her a model. Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, those are some of the. Well, you tell me some of the topics that that you have an interest in.
Let me see. What else did I wrote down? The snitching topic was my topic.
Yes.
So we went to.
Yeah, we did both of mine.
No, we did. What was the second one we did?
Well, we did Snitching, we did Macron. Look, we're all social. You go to the same places I go for the most part.
Mm-hmm. Snitching.
That's not necessarily snitching.
That's definitely snitching.
How's that snitching?
You gave information.
Well, nobody knows all the bars that we go to, and they don't know when we go. I mean,
Oh, you getting ready to tell?
But let me tell you, Monday through Thursday,
we outside
between 9 and 5 a.m. No.
See, he's lying. He's definitely snitching. Like, I know.
No. I really wouldn't. I'm not a snitcher. I am not a snitcher. Now. Again, I really do think it depends on the headspace because it all depends on what's going on. I mean, I don't know.
I didn't mean to take it back there, so
No, but I'm okay with the conversation back to the snitching. But yeah, I'm definitely not a snitcher. So that what's his name?
Snitcher is not a word. just like you said, conversation is not a word. Snitcher is definitely not a word.
Well, a snitcher.
Nobody said snitcher.
A snitcher is a word. You want to look it up?
Look it up.
All right, let me look it up. 1 second here.
So, I bet. Let's bet something. Huh?
Not bet nothing because
you're wrong. If you're confident, you put some a round of drinks. Even though we buy rounds.
You know why I know it's a word? Because why wouldn't it be a word? Anything we put an ER at the end.
Oh, like niggas.
Hey. No, I did not say that. I don't use that word. But
he doesn't. He calls it the N-word.
Yeah, it is definitely a word.
Let me see.
Snitcher. See, someone acting
That's the
as a
definition of snitcher.
You put an er at the end of most words, you're gonna get the. It's the same thing. It just get the root word. Add those two things on there.
So what's the root
See, you
word
gotta
of
help
nigga?
him with English. I mean, I just.
He got that one. He got that one. What's the root
But-
word for nigga?
Hey, listen, I don't like it. I don't like it. I can't.
You don't like
I
the
can't.
root word for nigga?
What is the root word for nigger?
I don't know.
They
say nigger.
You said nigga or nigger? I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
I said nigga. How I said nigga? I don't know how to.
We should stop talking about that.
No.
Uh,
We are.
you know, that's
the people
you
that
know,
can talk about it.
actually that is a good topic too, right? Because I know that word is used cavalierly. You know that word?
Yes.
Okay.
It means loosely.
Just willy nilly and carefree.
My son's mother is from the South.
Yeah.
And the first time she met they used to say nigga like down there like nothing. So the first time she met my mom's, is just the only time I was ever like embarrassed when I heard somebody say it, because my mom's never said that.
Yeah.
So she was like, "Oh, this nigga went to the store," and I was like, I'm like, yo, shorty, like, what are you doing? But then I had to realize, oh, this is because her mom's talked to her like that.
Yeah,
she talks like. So it's just she wasn't even.
That makes
and that's
sense.
another different type of upbringing of a black person.
Right,
where
right,
She
right.
she thinks like, oh, this is how we all. And she's like, West Indian people like.
I'm like, oh my, I like in any form, like, and look again, what you just said made a lot of sense. So I'm not gonna judge somebody for using it, but personally, me, I just couldn't use the word, knowing, where it comes from, even though it's being used in a different context. And it's
So when
not
you was
used-
growing up, you was never saying the word.
I know. It was never a word.
You had a lot of white friends.
No, I didn't have a lot of white friends. I had white friends, but I actually had more friends that looked like me. So
It's called black. You're black.
Anyway. Oh, Groucho. Uh, but anyway, no, I mean that
So
word.
none of y'all was like, yo, what up, my nigga?
No, I didn't grow up that way. So, but again, going back to what you were saying earlier, different environments. It was just, the environment I grew up in, even in Jersey or Jamaica, that was just never a word. But again, I as much as I don't agree with folks using it, I understand where it's coming from, and I don't particularly care for it. But again, I'm not going to say that you're wrong for using it. But I wouldn't encourage anybody to use it. So
I mean, I wouldn't use it. I know the environments to use
when
it.
to use it,
Yeah.
the code switch. Yeah.
That's so code switch is what non-blacks
Hey.
like to say when we get around white people or different type of. Let me not just put it all on white people, but different ethnicities of people that we have to act like they act instead of being niggas.
Well, that kind of goes back to our whole thing, right? We remain who we are,
Right.
regardless of who we meet and the environment that we're in.
Right.
I'm always who you see right here is always gonna be who you're gonna see on a TV show or talking to the president of the United States or whatever. It's never going to change.
Yeah, that's why I respect you. That's why I fucks with you.
Yeah, and that's why we're doing this show. We're showing that you can have two different worlds, meet and they work well together. Maybe thinking might be a little different. Definitions of certain things might be different, but could still be really good friends. And it actually makes it entertaining. If not for us, at least for our friends. So, anything you want to say else, JP? Or Groucho, I should say?
Nah, I see we about to run out of time, so we're not gonna. The definition of nigga, the root word is Niger. The gods would say.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
From the people of Niger, that's what they will call it.
The country Niger.
Yeah.
That is a country, right? Yeah.
In Africa, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, they were calling them niggas.
That's where it came from?
That's what some people say.
Really? Oh, I did not know that. I didn't know that.
See, I gotta teach him the real shit. He gonna teach me that other knowledge. I'm gonna teach him the real knowledge.
No, that's good. I mean, though, that's really because I did not know that. I actually always wondered where that came from or how it came about, but I never actually looked it up. So, but that's interesting though. I actually want to learn more. Maybe we could talk about that next show.
Definitely. Yo, it's been a pleasure.
Groucho?
My man, gentlemen.
Yes.
Yo, see y'all next time. Where we going to drink?
I'm going home to cook.
All right, whatever. Later, y'all.
Gintv.
Getting it in.
We getting it in.
We getting it in.